What's up, Fackers? We are back with our Fantasy and Chill Week 3 recap, Week 4 preview. All right, hopefully everybody is 3-0 now. We're going to come at you real quick with some fantasy studs for Week 3 and then get into the matchups for Week 4. We're going to go through every single matchup for this week.
Everyone.
All right, so just like we said, we're going to go ahead and lead it off like we always do with our
Fantasy studs.
And this is another big week for quarterback, as we've seen every week. Josh Allen, 4 touchdowns again, and a rushing touchdown. Matt repping the jersey there of his quarterback. Dak Prescott, 3 touchdowns, almost 500 yards. Russell Wilson, 5 more passing touchdowns. But the number one QB fantasy stud this week was my quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, 385 yards, 4 touchdowns. Also added a rushing touchdown. We'll talk about him a little bit in the cheers segment, but came for me huge on Monday night for me. All right, I needed every bit of it. And Patrick Mahomes, this was his first kind of a big classic vintage Patrick Mahomes game on the season. We've already seen Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, and Russell Wilson. They've been doing it all year. Mahomes had to make up some ground, and he scored 43 points in our league. So
your quarterback.
Yeah, 43 points, I'm pretty sure is what he ended up with. So yeah, Mahomes, he's back. He's here. Did you see he's pregnant with a little Lamar Jackson?
It's always weird that guy's pregnant, but
I mean, him and his wife are expecting.
with a little Lamar
Not
Jackson.
even his wife, his fiance. Him and his fiance are expecting. So yeah,
she's hot, by the way. People say she's not hot. She's hot.
Yeah, she's hot.
Yeah.
Britt, she's hot, right?
Who?
Patrick Mahomes' fiance.
Oh, see, there's always a one. God damn it.
I mean, she's hot. Now, is she number one QB in the league hot? I don't know.
Probably
But
That was okay. Look,
if you just saw her, you'd say she was hot.
let's break it down like this, okay? If I saw Mahomes and he wasn't the quarterback of the Chiefs and he wasn't a multimillionaire, I'd be like, yeah, they go good together. But all things considered, but yeah, she's cute. I'm sure she's nice
like-
and
Alright.
has a good family, you know. She's cute. I mean, dude, she's a day one. Like, she's been
Yeah,
with
that's
him
true.
since Tech. Like, she's his ride or die. Like, I respect
Yeah,
that a lot.
he wasn't this sure thing guy. He had to bounce around, went to
No.
Tech, and now he's the highest paid NFL player in history. So worked out for it. All right,
Not him.
running backs. We had Rex Burkhead, the classic Patriot, coming through with the big week that no one started and you're never going to start again. But the
Sexy Rexy.
number one running back, he's the number one running back in fantasy so far. Another huge game out of Alvin Kamara. 6 carries, 58 yards, 13 catches, 139 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He is carrying fantasy teams right now if you were lucky enough to draft him in the first round. So you are loving it from Kamara. And with Michael Thomas still maybe banged up, I look for this to continue. We know Drew Brees has the concerns of how far can even throw the ball anymore. Well, it works out perfectly when you got Kamara there, and they ran the that little screenplay they had with Eric McCoy out blocking.
I still haven't seen that.
Yeah,
I'll admit I fell asleep during that game because I was super tired. And I already won my matchup, so.
Yeah, you weren't worried about it. But it was a great play. Go watch it if you haven't. So, Matt, I'm going to recommend go check it out.
The wreck.
What movie? Sorry.
I was talking about Alvin Kamara's touchdown with Eric McCoy blocking. Matt didn't see it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about some movie.
What kind of podcast
Oh,
is
you
this?
got any movie recs for us then?
No, I haven't seen a movie in I don't know how long.
There you go. All right, well then go watch that touchdown. All right, and then finally our wide receivers. Justin Jefferson burst onto the scene, 7 catches, 175 yards, and a touchdown. Cedric Wilson for the Cowboys came out of nowhere. You won't see him again. Don't worry about picking him up. We already addressed him on the waiver wire episode. But the number one wide receiver of the week, Tyler Lockett, 9 catches, 100 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I'm going to get to him. Actually, I'm going to get to him in my cheers segment. That's my spoiler, all right?
How many guys you cheers
No,
at?
I changed it.
Oh, okay.
I said the wrong thing.
Well, I'm cheersing
Here,
Justin
just go ahead and
Jefferson.
cheers him right now. Let's get this.
Well, we're getting to our
going.
GFA recap right here. We'll get our cheers segment real quick. So,
Oh, shit.
as you know,
Stall.
As you know, our GFA league, I won this week to get to 2-1. My team is coming on strong after a tough week 1. And so, actually, I'm going to pour us some, me and Matt, some little bourbon shots here.
Another shout out to Bison Bar.
Shout out Bison Bar. Thanks for the Elijah Craig here. We are slowly taking care of week by week.
We'll definitely be done with this
Oh,
whiskey by
kind
the
of a
time.
big one.
Oh shit! At least I can actually get one this time.
I gave you one last time. All right, but my cheers is going out. Like I said, Tyler Lockett, the number one receiver for the week. The reason why I'm cheersing him and not my stack of Mahomes and Hill is because I was playing the guy with Russell Wilson. So it was very imperative that a lot of those touchdowns with the Lockett to kind of cancel out Wilson's big day. And so with him catching those first 3 touchdowns, Wilson and Lockett finished with just about the same amount of points. So thank you, Tyler Lockett, for keeping me in my matchup and letting my stack come through on Monday night for me. So cheers to you, Tyler Lockett. Number 2 wide receiver in fantasy right now.
Well, last
Calvin Ridley.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have to keep mentioning him.
All right, Britt,
you go.
who you got?
Mine, I mean, I lost to a guy who had Kamara, and I mean, I thought Lamar Jackson and
Andrews.
who else? Yeah, Mark Andrews were gonna do me in also, but I really only lost by like 20 points somehow. But I'm gonna go with Allen Robinson because he kind of came through late in that game, and I mean, 10 catches, 123 yards, and a touchdown. And Foles is the quarterback, so I have a whole new outlook with Allen Robinson, and I'm kind of digging it. Not gonna lie. So
That does kind of suck because we were over at Britt's house again watching the games on Sunday, and Britt was trying to calculate how much points he would need, where he would feel safe. And if we could have told Britt that day that Lamar and Mark Andrews would combine for that low score that they did, he thought he would probably have a good chance. But when Kamara scores 45 or whatever he scored, that's like, well, fuck.
Well,
Yeah.
it wasn't even that though. It was DK Metcalf. Like, first off, he caught that long bomb. I don't know if you saw this, but look it up
Long
if you can.
bomb.
And someone, comes out and knocks it out like on the 1 or 2 yard line before he gets in the end zone. And then he caught a bomb towards the end of the game, and that pretty much did me in.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So who did you cheers? Did you even say that?
Allen Robinson.
Okay, sorry.
Allen
Yeah.
You just zone out.
No, I was focused on the.
I want to go back-to-back Robinsons for my cheers, but with James Robinson, shout out to Reddit. But I got to go with my boy. It's about time he deserves a cheers. Joshua Allen, Bills Mafia, baby. Gonna slam myself through this table right now. Not really, but listen, the guy's never had back-to-back. Here's the deal, okay? Here's the deal.
Here's the team.
Y'all watch the... Never mind.
Keep going. Shut up.
Never had a 300-yard game before passing, and now he's had 3 in a row to start the season. Like, people were doubting him because he had Miami and the Jets to begin with, and now he actually showed up against the Rams. I think he can keep doing it for the rest of the season. I don't know about 300-yard games, but he'll definitely be a playable fantasy quarterback for me. So,
2 more quick ones.
cheers
for
to
me.
you, Josh Allen.
Oh, one, we knew it was coming. One, though, since I'm wearing the jersey, my first round pick, Derrick Henry, finally had a big game, 27 points, so I had to wear his jersey. See it there, Derrick Henry.
Look, you get one player on
Yeah,
cheers.
Okay.
I feel like he's cheers.
He's mentioned his whole fucking roster.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry they all went off this week, you know. They're all
I
studs.
scored the
You weren't
highest.
even the high scorer.
That's because I had 2 guys get hurt within the first few minutes of the game and put up 0.
Look, I want to cheer someone in. I'm going to James Robinson too.
Oh my God! No, stop. See, look, Keller,
This
you
is how it
said
works.
this, so
All right, I'm gonna get to a real cheers though. So no, this is the one I'm setting up. I'm cheersing them. We knew this was coming. All right, this is different.
This is your third one.
This is probably the nerdiest thing about me is that I'm in a Madden league that I've been in. This is my 8th year playing in an Xbox Madden league. And Britt always says it's nerdy, but Britt goes home and plays WoW for hours. So you tell me what's more nerdy.
you're a math teacher. That's pretty nerdy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I teach pre-calculus, so that's pretty nerdy too, I guess. But I'm in a Madden league. This is my 8th year in the league. If you think that's nerdy for me, a 30-year-old, there's like 40 and 50-year-olds in the league, so it's even more nerdy for them. But they came through a couple weeks ago. We got like 15 subscribers in like 5 minutes one day with a lot of people in the league getting on YouTube and subscribing. So I promised that I would show the logo of our league. We have our own logo. It's called the NNFL, the No Nonsense Football League. So there's our logo real quick. It is pretty sure it's that guy from that car show holding up a dildo. Okay?
Okay,
So-
now we just got demonetized.
So that's our logo, but I promised I would flash that. So cheers to the NNFL guys.
Thank you for the subscribers.
8th year in the league, so yeah.
All right.
So we're done with that. Let's get to the matchups this week. All right. So we're just gonna go through each game. We already know who the studs are that you're starting that we don't have to mention. but we're going to talk about maybe what the matchup favors if you're starting those fringe guys. All right. So Thursday night football, we have the Denver Broncos at the New York Jets. All right. Now,
Who's gonna get a win?
So Sunday
after
night,
after having like a good Thursday night game a couple times, we got Jaguars Dolphins and Jets Broncos. Broncos, they're starting Mark Rippon. I think that's how you say his name. Rippon, right?
Sure.
Starting
I thought it was
him.
Brett.
Mark is his dad, I think, was the old quarterback. Yeah. Brett.
Oh, okay. I got Brett Ripien here.
Yeah, I think Mark was his dad.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, they're starting Brett Rippon. So if I'm talking about Broncos, you probably have to start Melvin Gordon in the flex if you have him. And with the quarterback, they're probably going to try to run the ball a lot. I mean, Jets are not a good defense, all right? And I don't know if you're starting any Broncos receivers, but you're still starting Noah Fant, I think. Like I
don't mind
Noah
Judy.
Fant this week.
Judy's a nice little flex play or a fourth wide receiver.
I don't think he really did much this last week, did he?
5 catches for 55. It's just he's the only guy there. So I mean, like if you're kind of weak in a league and a flex play, I get it. And it is the Jets. So I mean, like if you're not going to play him here, I don't know when you're going to play him. I understand they have a rookie quarterback coming in, but
yeah, that's why I feel good about Fant is because these quarterbacks lean on the tight end a lot, and Fant has had.
That's true.
Now he didn't have the best week last week, 7 points, but 2 double-digit weeks before that was Sutton out. So I like Fant versus weak Jets defense. It does have the lowest over/under of the week at only 40 points. Okay, not expecting a lot of points here.
So what we're saying is find something else to watch.
If we're talking, are you playing anybody on the Jets?
I don't think you can.
I mean, Crowder, if he plays, I can see it. But in this game, I'm really only playing Fant and Gordon, most likely. Yeah. And then, like, if Crowder's healthy and a full go, I would consider Crowder because Crowder's a PPR machine. And so if Darnold's there, that's going to be the guy he's going to look at.
The one thing, if you had to play one person from the Jets, besides Crowder, I guess, it'd probably be their defense, maybe.
Maybe both the defense are probably
both the defenses. And I'll say this: I think Gordon he could have a bad game. Jets run D is actually pretty good. Their pass defense is god awful, but you have to play Gordon though in the flex at least.
So Gordon and Fant who are rolling with this game. All right. Kicking off the Sunday games, we got a bunch of games at noon. First one I have on the list: the Minnesota Vikings at my Houston Texans. All right, now there is some rumblings going on. We know the COVID situation. We'll get to the Titans Steelers a little bit later. But the Vikings are who the Titans played on Sunday. So they're not fully cleared yet. But from what it sounds like, they haven't had any positive tests yet. So this game is going to go on as scheduled. These are two teams that have gotten off to very rough starts, bad defenses. Offense hasn't looked great for either team. But with that being said, obviously on the Vikings, you're starting Dalvin Cook. On the Texans, you're starting Watson.
And Thielen also.
Well, I'm just like getting to the must start, like guys you're not even thinking about. So Dalvin Cook on the Vikings. Oh yeah, you're playing Thielen against a weak Texans defense. On the Texans, you're starting Deshaun Watson because you drafted him to play. And like we said, it's going to get easier for the Texans here. The guys we need to talk about though, David Johnson, Texans receivers, and the new receiver in Minnesota that had the big week, Justin Jefferson. All right, so who do we feel confident rolling out there? I mean, with the usage that David Johnson is getting, I think he's number 1 in the NFL in plays run by a non-quarterback, I think I saw. Yep. Now, he's doing nothing with those plays, but he's on the field. The Vikings are not a very good defense. So do we like David Johnson's chances this week to kind of get things going?
Yeah, I mean, you drafted him so high, probably in the 4th round, maybe 5th, I don't know. But
or the 2nd, if you're in our league.
Right. But like you just said, he's gonna get the touches. If you're ever gonna play him, this is the game. It's Vikings. It's at home. I mean, they're 0-3. They've been roasted by every team they've played. And so, yes, I'm definitely starting David Johnson. I have no problem with that. And Will Fuller, I don't mind either because, I mean, he had a touchdown last week on like 4 or 5 catches. He's fine in my book. Cooks and Cobb, not really digging it. Even Still's there.
Cobb had a good game on Sunday. 5 catches, 95 yards, and a touchdown? Something like that?
True. And then Jefferson, I mean, if you're a believer, throw him out there in the flex. But I would wait one more week probably. I think this is going to be Thielen's game, and then yeah, like you said, Cook and Cousins, and then the tight ends don't really do
I didn't
anything
say
for
Cousins.
me either.
I was going to ask you about Cousins because Cousins has been terrible this year. Are you rolling Cousins out there versus the Texans, or we talked about quarterbacks? You have a better option.
Yeah.
If you're streaming someone though, I don't mind Cousin. Like if you're streaming quarterbacks,
Yeah, but I can just think of probably 15
I'd rather
better
stream
quarterbacks that are out
Breeze.
there.
Yeah, Breeze is probably out there, or Matt Stafford, or Fitzpatrick. Jesus.
I think you can start all 4 receivers this week. What was the over under? It's
it didn't show up because
54.5. And it's supposed to be a close game too. So
who do you trust? Like, are you really going to roll Cooks or Cobb out there, or even still?
I'm not rolling Cobb, but Cooks. I had a stat like.
Oh, you meant 4 receivers for the whole game. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Cooks, Fuller, Thielen, and Jefferson.
4 receivers from Texans.
No,
Like Keller earlier.
Listen, I don't like the Texans that much. Okay, I don't like the Texans at all this year. I don't mind starting all 4 receivers if you have to. Like Jefferson and Cooks are probably like a wide receiver 3, fringe flex maybe.
Yeah, but I guess my only point would be there's not bye weeks yet, and so you really like unless you've had injuries or you have Julio out or Godwin. Like I can understand that, but yeah, I'm not really. Thielen and Fuller are the only guys for me.
It's fair.
All right, next game we got the Indianapolis Colts at the Chicago Bears. You're starting Taylor. That's the only must start on the Colts for me. If we're talking about Bears, you're playing Allen Robinson. Like Britt said, he might have a new good connection with Nick Foles. And Tariq Cohen tore his ACL. So you probably were already maybe starting David Montgomery in your flex. But I think this definitely bumps up Montgomery a little bit. Now, the problem is that the Colts are very strong up front. So I don't know how much running room he's really going to have. But Taylor, Robinson, Montgomery are probably starting. After that, man, as a T.Y. Hilton owner, he has been so bad this year. He does not have the connection with Phillip Rivers. I think I saw he is wide receiver 72 right now in fantasy. Just hasn't done anything. And then more Bears, like we talked about on the waiver wire episode. Maybe Jimmy Graham with that connection he has with Nick Foles if you need a tight end. But
I was looking at the tight end stats actually against the Colts, and they've a total of 6.2 fantasy points overall. The entire 3 weeks have been scored against the Colts. And
let's think about the tight ends they've faced. They played.
I mean, they've been pretty bad.
They played the Vikings, who they don't have a fantasy tight end. They played the Jets, who don't have a fantasy tight end, and they played. Who they play week 1?
Let's see.
The Jags, Colts.
They played the Jaguars, who don't have a fantasy tight end. So they haven't played a team with a fantasy tight end.
But their defense is better this year.
Yeah, their defense is good, but I'm just saying, like,
I'm not playing Graham. There's better options. And then on the Colts side, Doyle and Moelle Cox has had a few good games in a row here, but
I don't trust him.
It's kind of a split there. Yeah, I don't trust him either.
He's touchdown or bust.
Yes.
So yeah, not very many fantasy players here. Phillip Rivers isn't on the radar. He's not really doing much of anything there. Like I said, T.Y. Hilton, who's been a fantasy player in the past, I need to see something from T.Y. Hilton before I feel confident rolling him out there.
It's crazy. This game is Colts are 2-1, Bears are 3-0, and then you got the Vikings.
Worst 3-0 team.
0-3. You're like, what the hell's going on?
Bears are the worst 3-0 team ever.
You watch the Bears, and you're like, God, the Bears are awful. 3-0.
All right.
Next game, Jacksonville Jaguars at the Cincinnati Bengals. Matt talked about him earlier. James Robinson has emerged as a starting caliber fantasy running back in this league. The Minshew train kind of fell off pretty quickly. He had a terrible game on Thursday night. Probably not rolling Minshew out there. DJ Shark, you probably are playing in your flex. Those are the only really Jaguars I see. If we're talking about Bengals, I mean, Britt, as a Mixon owner, like you're ready for this to happen, right? You're looking for a game.
He's getting the touches. He's catching the ball. Like this is, I mean, maybe they've been stacking the line versus the Bengals for the first 3 games, and now Burrow's because Burrow's shown he can throw the ball. And if he opens up, I mean, Jaguars is the perfect team. This should be Mixon. He should get a touchdown. Hope to God. And Mixon. And then Burrow, I do not mind starting Burrow. Like we were saying, who were we saying earlier about Kirk Cousins? I start Burrow over Cousins easy.
Well, we just saw Fitzpatrick just scored like 26 against this Dolphins defense. The Dolphins went off against them. So if the Bengals can't put up a ton of points and get these players involved, then
I mean, Miles Gaskins look
Boyd,
good. Yeah. I think Mixon can.
Yeah, and then Tyler Boyd's a start for sure, obviously. And then I mean, this is going to sound a little out there. I don't mind playing AJ Green in this matchup. If you're ever going to play him, this is it. Throw him out there. I know he's been bad so far, but
over under is what, 48?
got 49.
I just think this game is going to be focused on the run. Like, both teams are terrible against the run. I think they both average, or like they both let 5 yards per carry. So
yeah,
you're starting Mixon this week, right, Rick?
Oh yeah, I mean I have to. He's my first round pick.
Okay.
I'm ride or die with Mixon.
I don't know. You were trying to trade him last week.
I felt out there, but I just with Mixon, it's like you're selling low. What do you like on the other side of the team, or with Robinson with the Jags? I feel like if you sell him, you're selling high. Like,
but when you look at him play, like obviously I'm biased, but Robinson looks good at least. He's actually catching the ball. Mixon doesn't get any pass plays.
No, he does. He's had more catches. I mean, he's had like I think 7 or 8 catches this year so far.
I mean, it's not as much as you'd like.
Well, he's not Kamara, but yeah, I mean, I'm going to defend him. He's my guy. So
yeah, you better.
I will. And then DJ Shark, obviously, he's an auto start.
You saw last week how bad they were missing DJ Shark too.
You did. And I mean, Laviska Shenault, the dude's a freak, but I don't really trust him or Keelan Cole. And then the tight ends are kind of all over the place also. Would y'all consider playing these defenses?
No, I think it's going to be. I think this is going to be an over.
No,
they score more points.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
Let's since we are live streaming, let's get to a trade question real quick in the live stream. Christian V asks, should he trade Fant for Jefferson? I have Higbee.
He has Higbee, so he's starting Higbee over Fant.
Justin Jefferson, though. I think you can get better.
I probably wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that either. Fant has shown he's got some value. He's probably the top target in Denver right now. You're buying high on Jefferson.
Hey, try to go get AJ Green.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah. All right, next game. This is the second highest over-under of the week. The Cleveland Browns at the Dallas Cowboys. This is one of those games where you're throwing everybody out there probably.
Yep.
Nick Chubb, you gotta roll out with Odell and hope that he has a big game. I mean, this is the Cowboys secondary who has just been roasted every single game. So you're playing Beckham. If you have Jarvis Landry, maybe he's a flex play for you this week against the Cowboys.
How's he been doing? I really haven't been. Not very good.
Not as good as we said he had a solid floor, but we might have been wrong.
I mean, we're in half PPR, and he's had 8, 6, and 5. So.
And then the Cowboys. I don't think it matters who the Cowboys are playing. This team's going to put up points, but against the Browns defense, they're definitely going to put up points. Obviously, you're starting Dak. Obviously, you're starting Zeke. Obviously, you're starting Cooper. What about Gallup or CeeDee Lamb?
I'm starting both of them if I have them because
I think Gallup for sure.
But one of them can win you the matchup.
Yeah. I like Gallup this week.
CeeDee Lamb's been more consistent, though. He's had 8, 15, and 9.
Yeah, this week, I mean, I said last week, I said last week I liked CeeDee Lamb. I guess he got banged up or something. I don't know why they played Wilson.
Well, I thought Cooper got banged up a little bit.
I mean, that's what
yeah.
Cooper does.
But I'm saying that's why that guy was in the game so much, Cedric Wilson.
Well, I know CeeDee Lamb was missing snaps too because he was playing from the slot a little bit. But this would be this is another game where CeeDee Lamb should smash because the Browns are a little bit weak against the slot wide receivers. But I don't know. I don't know if him and Gallup aren't as consistent as Cooper is going to be. But with such a high over/under, I think you can play them both.
And all right, what about Cooper?
Nah.
I
was thinking Schultz, man.
Yeah, I'd probably rather play Schultz.
Yeah,
at this point.
As much as I shit on him.
Much as you shit Schultz. Do you take a chance on Baker this game?
He's gonna have to throw this game. Might be the game where Kareem Hunt actually does more than Chubb.
Kareem Hunt too. I forgot about Kareem Hunt.
I'd rather start Burrow than Baker
Oh
Mayfield.
yeah. I get that.
But we're still good with rolling out Chubb and Hunt, like we said last week.
All right, you
Yep,
can't sit him at
absolutely.
this point.
All right.
Yeah.
Next game, another high over under 54 points. Saints at the Detroit Lions. Kamara, obviously, if Thomas is playing, you're starting him.
Yep.
Drew Brees, he had 25 or so points. And a lot of them were dump offs to Kamara. But when you have
A lot
Kamara
of them.
there, like mostly all of his points were dump off to Kamara. But when you have Kamara there who can turn any play into a touchdown, Drew Brees is going to always have a little bit of value there on that offense that scores a bunch of points. Britt,
Especially if Thomas is
you dropped Jared Cook. Do we
got
feel Jared Cook or Emmanuel Sanders? I mean, even with Thomas out, Sanders didn't really do anything.
He caught a touchdown last week, but that was about it.
Yeah, I mean, the only guys for the Saints I'm really starting are Kamara and Breeze and Michael Thomas. And
I'm gonna say I think Latavius Murray might be a start this week, in like a flex spot. He's gotten as many carries as Kamara has. They both have around 31. I think 31 exactly. And
yeah,
in games that they're ahead, which they should be in this, he's averaging around 14 carries per game.
yeah.
So if you absolutely need to, which you probably won't, if you're in a 20-team league, I could see you starting Latavius Murray.
Okay, Lions. Are you starting anybody but Kenny Galladay?
I don't mind streaming Stafford here, and then
Against the Saints.
Peterson hasn't been bad. Like
I saw a story or report today that Peterson they've reset again. He's going to be the featured running back that they're rolling with right now.
yeah.
So take
Look,
that what you
I don't
will.
love it, but I would consider it. And then
Against the
Marvin
Saints,
Jones isn't a bad streamer either here. I don't mind it either because Galladay there, that offense is going to be clicking. If the Saints get out early and the Lions have to throw the ball, but I don't know. I'm hoping for some of this Lions magic from last year between Galladay and Stafford and Marvin Jones. So, and then this is what I'm predicting this. Okay, I think DeAndre Swift will get involved here soon. Hopefully,
Well, this
he's
is the
just
game. But Peterson won't be able to, like, if they get down, they're not playing Peterson, so it would be Swift's show to actually catch the ball.
Yeah.
But and also Lattimore should be on Galladay, so Marvin Jones might be freed up a little bit. If you still hold Marvin Jones, now he's been shit the past 3 weeks, but if you still have him, this might be the play, like you were saying.
Yeah.
All right, before we get to our next game, I do see a question from ASAP Lockey. He says, do I give up on Sanders? Do I give up on... That is a good name, ASAP Lockey. Do I give up on Miles Sanders and trade him due to Wentz inconsistency or no?
No, you stay with Sanders here because if anything, they're going to feed him the ball more with Wentz inconsistency. And I will stand by this. I don't know if y'all agree with it, but you never sell a player at it's not necessarily his low point. What has he done so far? I know he's
been all right.
Is that what, like 15 and 12 or something like that?
Yeah,
Like,
he's getting the targets too. With all these wide receivers hurt, he's gotten 15 targets, I think.
Yeah. No, you stay with him. He's had 18 and 12, 78 and 77% snap percentage, and he's had 20 and 18 carries and 7 and 8 targets. Stay with Miles.
oh, he's gonna have a big game soon where he busts on the scene. So.
Yeah, I mean, we have him in our 20-team league. We're not trading him, so
Yeah, hold on to Sanders. I like him going forward. He's gonna explode for you.
He plays San Francisco, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore in the next 3 games,
Well,
so it might be a little rough here. But then he's got the
yeah.
Giants, Cowboys.
He's kind of the whole offense, though.
That is
What?
true, yes.
what else are they gonna do?
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, next game, another high over under 54.5 points. We got the Seattle Seahawks at the Miami Dolphins. Obviously, you're playing Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. If Chris Carson gets cleared, then you're playing Carson. If Carson is ruled out, I think you're playing Carlos Hyde. With the way that they run the ball, he's going to get probably a few targets. Now they have that Travis Homer guy who's going to eat into it a little bit, but Carlos Hyde is still going to be the guy there if Carson is out. So you're playing all your Seahawks versus the Dolphins. For the Dolphins, like, do you play Fitzy this week? Because they're going to have to throw the ball and play catch up.
I don't mind streaming him at all.
Are we playing him over Mahomes in our 22 league?
Do we start Fitzpatrick over Mahomes? Did I do that? Get all those questions.
No, Fitzpatrick's definitely a streamer this week, though.
Okay,
Yeah, for sure.
I'm playing Devontae Parker this week in our 10-team league. I think Just like we said, they're going to be down throwing the ball. He looked healthy last couple games. So yeah, I'm
Kind
rolling
of,
with
yeah.
Parker
He
finally.
he didn't look like he had the burst like he normally does. Like, I don't know. But I mean, if he's out there, Fitzpatrick's going to target him, and like you said, they're going to be playing catch up with Seattle. So yeah, I'd definitely start him.
And then what about our boy Miles Gaskin? You're playing him.
It's like a flex if you need it.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Just because he's getting so much run.
Yeah, he had 76% snap percentage last week, 22 carries, and 5 catches. So he's got a solid floor.
All right, next game. This is the second lowest over/under of the week.
Hey, you didn't mention my boy Gasecki.
Oh yeah, Gasecki. You're probably playing him as far as tight end options go. He's around that number 10 spot. So.
Yeah, Seahawks are actually pretty decent against the tight end, but they also allow a lot of deep passes, so he could catch one and bust it.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I wanted to say.
No, you just wanted to get him. You ain't got other options, Britt.
Team.
Yeah, who else you got? Who else you want us to talk about?
Are we doing cheers now? Sorry.
Next game, LA Chargers at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. For the Chargers, you're playing Eckler. That might be it on the Chargers. Are you playing Keenan
You're playing
Allen?
Keenan Allen.
Yeah, I don't mind Keenan Allen at all. If Herbert's starting, Keenan Allen was a monster last week. And even the week before with Kansas City, he had almost 100 yards receiving. I have no problem playing Keenan.
Look, the Bucs are a tough matchup for him, but if you look at his past 2 games, he's gotten 10 targets and 19. It doesn't matter how tough the matchup is. If you're getting that amount of usage, then you're starting. Yeah, 19 targets. I'm starting him.
All right, so
I was
Keenan Allen
messing that shit up.
and Eckler. Kelly was a popular start last week, but he finally did not have a good game at all.
And you're not starting this week.
Not playing Kelly. With the Bucks, you're playing Mike Evans. If Godwin is healthy, you're playing him. I know they. What was it? It's a hamstring or groin?
Hamstring with Godwin?
Yeah.
Weeks. Hamstring.
Scotty Miller, I don't mind streaming because he has that Edelman Amendola connection with Brady.
Why has it got to be Edelman and Amendola, Britt?
Because he's white.
Okay.
But yeah, that's why. And I don't mind playing OJ Howard either here. I think OJ Howard has been somewhat looked at by Tom Brady, but I don't know.
He's Gronk got a lot of targets, and I don't think Gronk's a play either, but it's just...
Gronk's going to catch a touchdown one of these games.
Okay, one of these games. Yeah.
Are you playing Brady?
I don't mind streaming him. I would play him over Kirk Cousins.
God, you hate Kirk Cousins?
Are you playing
I will say
Leonard
Chris
Fournette?
Harris Jr. is out this game.
Are you playing Leonard Fournette?
Me?
No,
he got 7 touches last week.
So after 2 weeks ago, he had the big run late, which really boomed his made his stats look a lot better than they were. He was a popular start this week, and he did not reward you. So are you back to benching him?
I said bench him last week, and I
this backfield is just stick a fork in it because you ain't going back to it anytime soon.
I mean, also, it's worth noting too that Fournette didn't practice today, but it is Wednesday, so I don't know if you want to put much in that. But Bruce Arians is a dumbass. Let's move on.
All right.
Next game, Arizona Cardinals at the Carolina Panthers. Speaking of that, Hopkins didn't practice today with an ankle, but we've seen that on the Texans for years. He never practiced.
So
all he's doing though is leading the NFL and targets, catches, and yards.
David Johnson practiced today.
Okay, you were listening to the Blitz too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good joke. But
it wasn't a joke. Hopkins
has been great. You're playing him, obviously. Kyler Murray, he had that nasty touchdown run with the juke last week. Kenyon Drake has been concerning, though. He is not having the year that we kind of thought he would have after his little breakout last year.
Hasn't had a terrible year, though.
Hasn't had a terrible year.
It's not as bad as, Mixon. And
Panthers are, the last run defense in the league?
They're second now. The Raiders are worse.
Okay, second to last run defense in the league for Kenyon Drake. So you're still playing him, definitely, especially where you drafted him. Do you feel good about any of the other Cardinals receivers, like a Christian Kirk or a Larry Fitzgerald or an Andy Isabella who caught a touchdown last week?
Can I interrupt real quick? You compared him to Mixon. The only thing separating him and Mixon is 1 touchdown. So,
well, I kind of was saying that tongue in cheek because I own both of them in my other league, so I'm doing
Okay.
terrible right now. But yeah, look, both of them are gonna score a touchdown this week, guaranteed. Put on the board.
Yeah, and
Any
I mean,
Panthers?
I'm playing Mike Davis and Kenyon Drake, and then Hopkins, obviously,
Yeah.
DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson. I don't mind playing both of them either. Christian Kirk, I'm kind of fading a little
Yeah,
bit.
you're not playing Kurt. You're not playing Isabella either. So if you picked up Isabella in the waivers, I'm sorry, you just wasted money. But
But we liked what we saw in Mike Davis last week. He got the usage we thought he was. He was productive. He was good for you. So you're playing Mike Davis again just because he is pretty much the only option. We saw Bonifant get a couple touches.
I think Mike Davis had back-to-back 8-target games.
Yeah.
Like 8 reception
Yes.
games maybe.
He's
So
catching the ball.
I'm
real
not
quick.
as high
sorry.
on those receivers. Now DJ Moore you're probably playing
Yeah.
because of where you drafted him, but I don't know. I'm not the biggest Robbie Anderson guy.
He's been so
No, but
consistent, but
Decent, yes. He's been consistent with this team. And I mean, Matt Rule's there from Baylor. And I mean, like, they have this kind of offense that kind of, especially with McCaffrey out, like, they're going to be throwing the ball. And I mean, they could get down big to the Cardinals. I don't know. Like, this could be a high scoring game.
yeah, what'd you say the over-under was?
52.
There's been some high-ass games
Well, I
this week.
think they're adjusting because all these games have been such high scoring that they're having to knock these over-unders up.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's true, I guess, yeah. Let's
Alright.
go to another live stream question real quick. Christian V. Well, I guess you're getting a second one. Singletary or Hyde if Carson's out? Just real quick, one answer.
Singletary.
Singletary
probably
is going against the Raiders.
Who have their worst run defense.
We have the worst run defense in the league. If Carson's out, I'd probably...
Moss plays.
I don't think it really matters. Singletary, even when Moss was healthy, Singletary's getting way more usage. And I think this is going to be another game where the Russell Wilson just throws a bunch. That's what they've been doing all season. Even when Carson was healthy, his touchdowns were coming from receptions.
True.
Yeah. Hyde doesn't catch the... I'll go
doesn't
Singletary
catch
as
the ball
well.
well, so I'm going Singletary.
I guess I'll go Singletary.
Oh, no, you can't switch up now.
Flip-flopper. Flip-flopper.
Hey, we're helping him.
That's true.
No, you made a good point. Call me a
Okay.
flip-flopper.
But you flip-flopper.
Okay, so Singletary.
You
Christian B. Next game, New York Football Giants at the LA Rams. Big question: are you starting any Giants? Any of them? Is there one Giant you're gonna throw out there?
I want to pick one at least.
Slayton or Evan Ingram are the only two.
Yeah,
that would
that's the only two I was thinking of. Yeah.
Deion Lewis was a popular pickup. He didn't do much. Gallman didn't do anything. Devontae Freeman actually played on Sunday after signing like 2 days before or whatever. But you're staying away from the running backs there.
With their
It's
running
just-
backs, I was looking at their snap percentages. All three of them are around 30% for last week.
which is just not what you want at all if you're
And
trying to pick one of
It's
them.
just a weird game because the Rams are actually worse against the run, but you don't want to start any of their running backs on the Giants. And the Giants are actually worse against the pass. They're actually pretty decent against the run, but you want to start Darrell Henderson this week because they're going to be. What was it? The spread was like 13 for the Rams, so they're going to be running the ball. But the Giants are actually good against the run, so I don't know.
So with the Rams, you're playing Cup, you're playing Robert Woods. Like we said, after what Henderson's done the last 2 weeks, you're probably playing Darrell Henderson.
Yeah, check if Akers is playing too.
Yeah, Akers maybe. Is this a week to plug and play Goff? He's looked pretty decent.
Yeah, I don't mind streaming him at all.
Let me guess. You like him over Kirk Cousins?
Yes. And then Higbee, I would start also.
Yeah, Higbee. I forget about the tight ends.
And then Rams D, I would play them.
Yeah, Rams D is a good play too. So big on the Rams this week. Giants might be the worst team in football.
There's another team in New York that might be
The
worse.
two New York teams are probably the worst two
Yeah,
teams in
Jesus
football.
Christ.
Jets and Giants. So yeah, that's just, man, for all the popularity that just in general that New York sports gets, there are so many bad teams in New York.
The
It's crazy.
Yankees.
Well, the Yankees are good, but the Mets
what I'm
are
kind of
terrible.
realizing this week
The
too,
Knicks
there's
are terrible.
bad games out there. Like last week, we had some decent games all around. I mean, Monday
Well,
Night
we're
Football.
coming up to one right now.
We have a lot of good games coming up, yeah. Next game, New England Patriots at the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a tough matchup for the Chiefs. We know how good this New England pass defense is, But it's not like you're not playing Patrick Mahomes. You're playing Mahomes. You're playing Tyreek Hill. You're playing Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You're playing Travis Kelce.
You're playing Rex Burkhead.
Okay.
Playing Sonny Michel.
On the Patriots, though, these are where the questions come with the Patriots. Cam Newton, playing him?
Yeah, with a 50, like,
I have no problem.
with these 50-plus point over-unders, like, you're playing a lot of people in these games. The only thing you aren't doing with the Patriots this week is probably playing a running back. And if it is, you play James White, yeah. He's coming back. They probably want to get him, like, his, I always say his coming out game, but Cam Newton's going to dump it off to him a lot just to prove a point.
So, yeah, you got James White coming back. Sonny Michel rushed for over 100 yards last week. Rex Burkhead had 3 touchdowns last week. The rookie J.J. Taylor got out there involved last week. Damian Harris practiced today. He's coming off the IR at some point. Like, there's just way too many running backs there that you don't want to touch this backfield. I own 2 of them, so that's good, just to make sure. But, yeah,
all right,
Cam
Edelman,
Newton,
are we playing Edelman?
You have to.
I think you kind of have to in your flex.
He's like a flex, yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
The way to beat both these teams, though, is you run the ball. The Patriots aren't good against the run. Chiefs aren't good against the run. So
and they'll probably both throw it 40 times instead. But
yeah, probably.
All right, a few more games here. Buffalo Bills at the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, wait, did we go over the Chiefs real quick?
I mean,
you're basically playing everyone.
You're playing
do you have someone you is on the fringe that you think you'd play?
I mean, are you playing Watkins?
No, I don't think you would be playing Watkins.
Is Chiefs D? They're projected 10 on Sleeper. I don't know what that's worth, but yeah.
I'm probably not playing Chiefs.
I'd rather not play a defense where a game's projected to score 54 points.
Oh, well, good luck with that. Haven't you said every game's been over 50 points?
No, I mean, there's a lot. There's not every game. Yeah. Do you not remember the tomorrow night's game?
Next game.
All right, Buffalo Bills at the Las Vegas Raiders. Josh Allen, he's shown that he's a top quarterback. Stephon Diggs, you're playing. Are you still playing John Brown after his good start? Or he got hurt. Is he even playing?
Yeah, he didn't practice today.
I mean, it's tough because we're recording this on Wednesday.
I'm still playing Devin Singletary. He was decent last week with getting the majority of touches.
Raiders are the worst defense.
Raiders are the worst run defense. Talk about the Raiders. Josh Jacobs. Darren Waller.
Bills are an okay matchup against the tight end. Now, one person I wanted to bring up specifically for this matchup is our boy, Hunter Renfrow. Bills have been terrible against slot receivers this year. Now, I'm hoping Hunter Renfrow will still line up in the slot with all their injuries to wide receivers.
Coming off his best game of the season.
He
had 20 points in a full PPR.
They let Crowder score on him. Cooper Kupp had an amazing game last week. I called that, by the way. Even though, I mean, what was that? You kind of expected it, but yeah, Hunter Renfrow. Oh, fuck you, Britt. All right.
All right, but if you're in a bind, you like Hunter Renfrow.
I like Hunter Renfrow.
Especially in PPR. Gets a lot of targets. All right, Sunday night football. Philadelphia Eagles at the San Francisco 49ers. These are 2 teams that have just been super banged up this year. On the Eagles, even though it's a tough defense, you're playing Miles Sanders. After that, there's so many people on the Eagles out. Zach Ertz should have a huge game with Goddard out. Yep. This is the situation, basically, where Ertz exploded last year, where all the receivers and Dallas Goddard are out. So Zach Ertz, look for him to have a big game. Even saying that, though, Wentz has been so terrible. I'm not playing Wentz. He has just looked awful. As far as the 49ers, whatever running backs are healthy and playing, then you're probably playing. They showed Jarrett McKinnon had a good game, and then he got banged up. Jeff Wilson comes in and scores 2 touchdowns. What do we know about Mostert? Is he playing?
Did not practice today, but it's Wednesday, so you probably have to wait till like Saturday maybe.
Okay,
but it's a good segue into this question.
Real quick though on that question, I did see good news. George Kittle is full.
Oh yeah,
George Kittle's back, so you're playing George Kittle also. The receivers there probably don't feel safe about any of those receivers. Even the rookie Brandon Ayuk we talked about on the waiver special.
I mean, they got Darius Slay on the Eagles, so whoever the number 1 is on the 49ers is just going to get shadowed by him, so I'm not feeling good about him.
All right, one more live question here real quick from Cam Caney. He says, is Jeff Wilson a good pickup? Raheem and Jarek are questionable and Tevin is out. He also dropped 20 points last week. So like we said, once we figure out who's actually playing and not, whoever that starting Niners running back is that's getting the majority of the carries is a good play.
Yeah.
they've shown that it can be any one of those 4 guys. Whoever leads the team and carries is going to be good for them with how much they run the ball.
Agreed. They run. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Jimmy G's starting this week either. So
I think it's still Nick Mullins.
Yeah. I want to go back. We skipped one.
Oh, we did skip that. We skipped an earlier game, the Baltimore Ravens at the Washington football team. Ravens just came off a tough game against the Chiefs. Look for the Ravens to just explode. I look for Lamar to have a huge game after rough game the other night. 97 yards passing is what he finished with. Now, if you're watching the game,
that was it.
That was it. But man, his receivers were dropping wide open balls, going through Marquise Brown's hand, going through his tight end's hands. But I look for Lamar to have a huge game against Washington. The running back situation, I don't feel good starting any of them.
Nope.
Obviously, if you had to start one, it'd be Gibson, but against the Ravens.
On the Ravens.
Oh. Well, I guess both teams.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have Ingram, who's the starter, J.K. Dobbins.
Look, the reason you might start one running back is because Ravens are favored by 13.5.
Maybe this is the game to sneaky play Gus Edwards like he did against the Texans when they were up big. Gus. Because if they get up big, they're gonna run the ball like they did against the Texans. Gus Edwards carried the ball a lot at the end of that game. So maybe this is a sneaky Gus Edwards play. Maybe DFS Gus Edwards.
DFS, it's like a Buck Allen kind of play.
Yeah. Britt's over it, so let's get to these next games.
Well, I have one sleeper on Washington.
All right.
Against the Ravens. Logan Thomas. He's getting the targets. He's averaging 8 targets per game.
Yeah,
Week 1 Ravens. Njoku scored a touchdown. Week 2, Akins had against the Texans. Akins had 7 catches. Week 3, Travis Kelce went off, but so Logan Thomas and McCoy in your starters.
Okay, yeah. Monday Night Football, we have the highest over-under of the week, 58 total points. The Atlanta Falcons at the Green Bay Packers.
Start everyone.
You're starting everybody in this game. Everybody with a pulse, you're starting. Matt Ryan, Todd Gurley, Julio Jones if he plays, Calvin Ridley. If you got Russell Gage in your flex, don't feel bad about it. You can throw him out there. For the Packers, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams if he plays, Alan Lazard, everybody.
The only person you wouldn't start is MVS, maybe.
But if Devontae is ruled out.
If Devontae is ruled out, I still wouldn't start MVS because he's terrible.
I don't know. The way they alternate, Lazard had the big game last week. This might be MVS's turn.
I don't know. I hate MVS.
Hey, is Sternberger coming around?
He caught 2 passes.
3 for 36.
Wasn't that his first 3 passes, first 3 receptions of his career?
Well, he's got to start somewhere.
He's had 5 targets on the year.
So no, you're not starting him.
But yeah, this is the highest over-under you're starting everybody. Falcons, Packers. And then the last game, which is TBD. You've probably seen the news. We had a small little COVID outbreak on the Tennessee Titans. So the Tennessee Titans playing the Steelers, that game is currently in jeopardy. As of now, the plan is to play this Monday night. If we have further delays, the plan is Tuesday night. After that, things could get interesting, all right? Because if this game gets delayed any further, we're talking about moving around bye weeks to where these players are not going to be able to play on your fantasy team this week. So it puts you really in a tough spot if you're an owner counting on these guys, especially if it gets moved to a Tuesday, where if it gets canceled at the last second, you're fucked if you keep them in your lineup because you're taking a 0. So I'm thinking about me with Derrick Henry, who I don't have any choice. I have to play. Britt has James Conner, who he's probably going to play. And then Juju Smith-Schuster. All right, so if you own those guys, pay attention over the weekend. Watch the report. See if any more people get diagnosed with COVID that could push this thing. But you're going to have to put these guys in your lineup and have no insurance if something happens. It's a scary thought.
I want it to happen because I'm playing you.
Okay, that's fucked up, man.
Well, I want them to be safe, okay? I'm all about everyone being safe.
Oh, yeah, now you are. Okay.
I did read something on Reddit. Some people are doing this in their leagues. I don't know. We can discuss this afterwards, maybe. That whoever has a player playing on Monday night or if possibly Tuesday night in that game, you designate a backup for that player right now. And if they don't play, then that backup gets inserted automatically on whatever day they don't play, or if they don't play.
All right, that's something we
I
can
like
talk
that.
about.
But no, we don't have to do that.
Okay, I'll designate Sony Michelle. You're fucked now.
Oh no, 0. He's gonna get 0 too.
But yeah, so pay attention. Get your updates on Twitter, Sleeper, whatever you use. Pay attention to these reports. Have a backup plan, like Matt said. Talk to your league about contingency plans. I've even thought about picking. Well, I don't want to tell because I'm playing this guy over here, but I have a backup plan for Derrick Henry if a report comes out early enough. So yeah, just make sure you pay attention. Other than that, if we're just talking about the game in general, those Steelers have a tough defense. This might not be the game where you play a Tannehill or a Corey Davis or a Jonnu Smith.
Actually, I think Jonnu Smith is playable just because they're going to funnel a lot of passes into the tight ends.
I agree.
The cornerbacks are pretty decent. They're going to get a lot of pass rush, so he might just look for the early dump off if A.J. Brown's not playing.
Steelers, you're playing Connor, you're playing Juju. If Deontay Johnson is back healthy, clear the concussion protocol, maybe you're playing Deontay, and then there's probably better options than Big Ben, but Big Ben roll out there.
I don't mind Chase Claypool this week in like a DFS play, but I don't know if you're playing him in an actual game, actual fantasy.
Yeah. All right, so that was every game this week. We can see Britt yawning over there. It's past his bedtime.
I'm getting tired, boys.
Yeah, so getting ready for week 4. Everybody, good luck in their matchup this week. Keep hitting us up on Twitter and Instagram. We've been getting a lot of participation and activity.
Speaking of Instagram, can we just run through a couple questions? 2 questions. Real quick. Actually, 1 question.
All right.
We already answered the other one. So 1 question. That's it. To end the live stream.
Okay, get to it.
To end the live stream, I'm going to ask you 1 question. It's going to be 2 wide receivers. Britt, are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's 2 wide receivers. You ready? Okay. Allen Lazard or Justin Jefferson this week? From
Lazard.
Benjaragui 60.
Allen Lazard.
Lazard.
Even if Adams plays.
I'm going Jefferson.
Okay.
They're playing Atlanta.
Keep following us on Twitter and Instagram, like I said. Keep participating on Sunday mornings in the live streams. We've been getting a ton of questions on Sunday mornings asked before the games. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe on YouTube. Keep leaving comments. Keep it coming. Keep on winning.
Keep on keeping on.
And we out.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Boom. Thanks for watching. Like and comment. And subscribe.
I've had to pee so